Guys, am I audible or not? Can you guys please confirm? I'm audible. Good morning. Good morning, Vishal. Good morning, Nilanjan. Nishant, I think like if you have any concern with respect to any topic, then you can post in the comment section. I'll be happy to cover that. No problem in that. Okay, we'll revise that for you. Cool. Okay. Uh, okay. Good morning, Otis. Good morning, Ravita. So, can you guys please tell me, like today, I have a few problems for you. Okay, I'll show you the problems. I'll give you some time to think on it. है ना? We'll brainstorm the problem and we'll together resolve it. Cool. Okay. Is it fine with you all? And from the previous lectures, do you have any concerns that you want any topic or anything that you want to cover in this lecture? Like as Nishan suggested, we'll revise that if you have any concern with respect to any topic. If you have any, please confirm. And we'll start with the problems after then. I have very cool problems for today. Okay, not that much of difficult one, but I think so you guys can able to resolve it. But those are very important one. Okay, so on that note, we'll start. Like, let me share my screen, and I'll give you problems. Just a second. Okay, so Fibonacci number. Cool. Okay, okay. Can you guys can see my screen? Can you guys can see my screen? Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let me just note it down. The problems. Notepad. Okay. So first of all, we'll cover Fibonacci series. Okay. We'll cover this with respect to both. Like I mean, the simple logic one, like the simple logic one, as well as the recursive function. Okay. I think we have not covered the recursive, right? And recursive way we have not covered in the Fibonacci. We have just covered the logic one, right? The normal without the function one, right? So we'll cover with respect to the logic as well as the recursive function. Okay. Okay. The second problem you might have with respect to the pyramid triangle. Okay. Pyramid triangle. We'll also cover this. No problem in that. Okay. Then after I have a problem which is to find perfect square, whether number is a perfect square or not. I'll also cover this. Then after, if time permits, then we'll also cover, like I want to cover the problem of the perfect number. Perfect number. Okay. Then after we'll cover the factorial. Okay. Let me just put it this as a backup, as a factorial. Factorial. Then after you have a binomial coefficient. Binomial coefficient. Okay. So let's start with the factorial number. Okay. So okay, so with respect to the factorial, if you find the number of any factorial, let's say if I have a number of let's say I have a 5 factorial. Cool. So the factorial, that means a number which will at most have any recursive series in that. So if you just no search in the Google also, you will find result of the factorial. For those guys, those are not aware about what is factorial. So like in mathematics, no, the product of all positive integers which can be no less than or equals to like the integer or denoted by that integer, that is something known as a factorial. So what do I mean by that? That is, if I have this particular 5 factorial, then you have to go till the 1, till you receive 1. So that means you have to go till 1. That means 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cool. Okay. So in other ways, I can also say this as 5 into 4 factorial, right? right? Okay, and I can also say this as 5 into 4 into 3 factorial. Cool. I can also say this as 5 into 3 into 2 factorial. Similarly, I can say 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 factorial. Similarly, I can say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 into 0 factorial. So this hierarchy, if you see, then this hierarchy is following a pattern. Can you observe a pattern here? Can you guys observe a pattern here? Yes. So see, every time you have, like, initially I had a problem of no n factorial, okay, 5 factorial. So you can say that this solution of this would be n into n minus 1 factorial. This is n factorial. So my solution of this would be, in the first step, it would be n into n minus 1 factorial. Okay. Similarly, it will be follow in the upcoming steps, like 4 factorial would be n into n minus 1 factorial. 3 factorial would be n into n minus 1 factorial. 2 would be n minus 1 factorial. 1 would be n into n minus 1 factorial, right? And 0 factorial is already known by you, that is 1, right? Right. So yesterday only we saw this in a debugger mode, that you have something called as a call stack, right? Okay. So stack is a, like, one kind of data structure pattern, in that whatever you will have in execution, that will be pushed inside this. Okay, it will be pushed inside this. It will be following a FIFO pattern, that means first in first out. So whichever element is pushed first, it will be come out first. Okay, that is known as first in first out, that is known as FIFO. Okay, so stack will always follow this particular pattern, that is called as FIFO, that is first in first out. Cool. Okay, so you can tell me that no, first of all, it will be like, if you want to find 5 factorial, then you know that every time it will be following n into n minus 1 factorial. Okay, so every time this n would be changed. Let's say for this case n is 5, this, for this case n is 4, for this case n is 3. Similarly for everything. Okay, till the time you are not receiving 0, you have to follow this particular pattern. You have to call this particular function. Okay. Okay. So whenever you are whenever you are doing the first transaction, that means 5 factorial. So 5 would be what? 5 into 4 factorial. This would be weight for the answer of 4 factorial. Okay. Internally it will be also called as 4 into 3 factorial, right? Internally it will be also calling 3 into 2 factorial. Internally it will call 2 into 1 factorial. Internally it will call 1 into 0 factorial. So this all steps will wait until this will be resolved. Okay, this factorial part would be resolved in each steps, right? Right. Cool. Okay. Okay, so first of all, this 4 factorial step would be inserted into this. Okay, so it will wait for, like, it will, you can call this as factor of 5. Okay, so factor of 5 would be what? 5 into 4 factorial. So internal it will call factor 4. Okay, so again it will be pushed factor 4. Okay. Okay, it will again, the factor 4 is this. Okay, this one. So it will again call the factor of 3 here. Factor of 3. Similarly factor of 2. Similarly factor of 1. Okay. Now if you can observe in the factor of 1, okay, it internally calls factor of 0, that is already 1, right? So it will be resolved, it will be get resolved. So it will be get resolved immediately and give you answer 1. So, okay, so now you have answer of this 1 factorial, that is 1. So 2 into 1, that will be 2. That will be answer of this one, is 2. 3 into 2 would be 6. That will be answer of 3 factorial. So it's 6. 4 into 6, that will be 24. It is answer for 24. So 24 into 5, that is 120. So that is your final answer. That is how it is following, right? So if you see in the call stack, then 1 factorial get resolved with the value 1. Okay, 2 factorial will get resolved with the value 2. Okay, it will, after it resolve, it will be popped out. Okay, that is why it is called as first in first out. Okay, sorry, first in last out. Okay, whatever element is first inserted, it will come out in the last. You can see, right? 1 factorial is inserted in the last, it is come out in the first. Cool. Yes or no? Yes or no? You are getting this or not? Yes. Yes. So you can also call this, you can also call this particular pattern as LIFO, right? Okay, so whatever element is inserted in the last, it will be popped out in the first, right? So it is last in, first out, right? You getting this point? Yes. So in the data structures, there are two particular majorly no uh, common known terms. That is, first is stack and second is queue. Right now you don't have to bother about what is queue, but you can tell that this is stack, right? So every time if you observe the stack, if the stack could be anything like the custom stack, also the browser JavaScript stack also, so stack would be always following the LIFO pattern, that is last in first out. Okay, okay. And the queue would be following the FIFO pattern. Okay, by mistakenly I have written this as a FIFO, but it is not, it is LIFO, right? So whatever element is inserted last, it will be popped out first. Okay, so if you have, if you don't have to remember anything, you can just observe. Okay, so 1 factorial, like 0 factorial is inserted into last, so that 1 factorial would get resolved, so 1 factorial immediately it will resolve, it will be popped out. Okay, so by this way you can also understand, you don't have to remember that is it is FIFO or LIFO. You can tell examiner or interviewer that whichever element is inserted last, it will be resolved first, right? So for 1 factorial will resolve first, as we saw yesterday also in the browser practically how it works. Okay, okay. After it will resolve, it will try to resolve the 2 factorial, because 2 factorial is internally dependent on 1 factorial, because 1 factor is already resolved. Now 2 factorial will get also resolved with the value 2. How? 2 into 1 factorial, 1 fact you already have answer as 1. So 2 into 1, that is 2. So fact 2 will be answer as 2. It will also get resolved and popped out from the stack. Now 3, fact of 3 is dependent on fact 2. That is why it was on the pending state till now. Okay, but since 2 factorials get resolved with the value 2, 3 into 2 would be 6. So 3 factorial would get resolved with the value 6. Cool. Okay. 4 factorial will again dependent on 3 factorial, since you have the answer of 3 factorial, that is 6. Okay, so 4 into 6, that would be 24. The will be the answer of factor of 4. Okay, similarly factor 5 is dependent on factor 4. You have answer of factor 4 now, so factor 4 and 3 would be popped out, and 24 into 5 would be answer of 120. Now you don't have anything left inside this stack, okay. That is why you are okay with this answer, like 120 would be your answer. Okay, dry run is clear. Dry run is clear how it will be no working in the backend. We already saw this practically yesterday with the debug mode. I already shown practically how this particular call stack works. Yes or no? Yes, everyone. So Nilanjan, call stack is a particular no method. So in the JavaScript, you have multiple functions. You have so suppose let's say this is function A. Okay, inside this you are calling function B. Okay, inside this there are many variables that are declared. Okay, such as where B, const C. They are holding another values. Okay, outside also there are some API calls are there, or outside also there are some variables are declared, let's say where D, const E, or let test, this kind of variables are declared. So you have to track each and everything, right? So right now if your compiler, right now if your execution part or of interpreter is at this line, so you have to track somewhere, whether like you are right now on function A, right? You are right now in function A. Okay, so you have to track somewhere that inside the A functions you are executing this one, and inside the functions, inside this A you are calling the function B. Inside the function B there are these variables are declared, let's say B and C. Okay, if you are going outside this, then you have to resolve these variables, you have to delete these variables because they are scoped in the function. Okay, so you have to track each and everything. So in order to track this, there are particular data structure methods that our browser has implemented. Okay, those are called as particularly stack. So browser is using the stack for this. This is something known as call stack. Why we are using call stack here? Why we are using stack here? Because you have to, like, suppose if I'm working in A, then till the every execution of A function is not get resolved, I cannot delete this, or I cannot release the memory of A. Are you agreeing with me? ठीक है. If we are executing in the A, ठीक है, till the point we are not ending this particular curly braces, we should not resolve anything which is no scoped inside this particular function. So you can also understand it by that if you are in the function B right now, okay, so if you are not executing this curly braces, okay, before this you have to access the variable B and variable C. Am I right? Okay, in between of this I can access B and C anywhere I want. Okay, so I have to track that if I am in the function B, I should not resolve or I should not release the memory of B and C. That is why we are making it as a last in first out. So it is inserted last, it is inserted last, so it has to come out first. Okay, similarly it is inserted, it will be inserted in the last. Let's say this test is inserted in the last, it should be come out first. Okay, okay, so inside this function A and function B, which comes last? Function B, right? So function B has to resolve first. Function B or function A should resolve first? Tell me. If I'm working in the function A, I have the function B, so which should resolve first? A or B? B, right? Okay, since it is inserted last, right? So which kind of data structure pattern offers you this kind of feature? Stack is only one which is offering this kind of functionality. Okay, so yeah, on the Monday onwards we are learning this kind of data structures. There are many kind of data structures. Let me just name you, such as array, stack, queue, linked list, then heap, then dynamic memory, or dynamic programming are also there. Yes, tree, map, this kind of data structures are there. And from Monday we will start with this one that is known as array. Okay, and after we master each and every data structure, we have to master each and every data structure first in order to move to any other module. Okay, so right now you can understand that we are working at the below building of the like we are working in a basement right now. This is a basement of your building. We are working in a basement. From Monday onwards you will be on the ground floor. You have to climb the 10th floor. Okay, I hope am I making sense, right? So in order to understand this array or any of this data structure, the whatever the prior or core knowledge would be no having to with any of the candidate, whether it is whether he or she is from the non-tech or tech background, no matter what. Okay, he has to work on this basement first, no matter what. Okay, if you are just constructing your ground floor, that will be making no sense. It would be harm you in any way. So that is why we are investing this much of time and this much of energy of yours and mine also, of everyone, to understand and to get fluent in this particular core. Okay, okay, to be honest, from this particular basement, in the interview, that would be there would be many very few examples, or there will be many very few questions that would be asked. Okay, except for some problems such as recursion and all. Okay, apart from that I don't think so that they would ask this kind of basic questions. They would ask you from this data structures. Any of the data structure interview would not get end with this particular data structure. Without this data structure there is no any DS interview out there. Okay, so from Monday onwards we will start learning this array, then we'll move forward to the stack, queue, linked list, heap. Okay, trees, maps, this kind of things. After that we will work on the dynamic programming. After doing all of this we will solve whole lot of problems to get fluent in this. And immediately we will start then our first project that will be on the based on the e-commerce site. I hope am I making sense and the context are clear with you, everyone? Yes, graph will also there are many other, I have not marked everything. Okay, the graph would be last, I think so. There is done. Okay, so everyone is clear now what how like why we are learning this kind of things, the stacks, why browser is using stack. Okay, objects is not a DSA part, Hariharan. Objects is just a you can say just a property of JavaScript. Okay, it's not a part of DSA. Cool. Okay, so in this every topics, in this every topics you will learn something new. Okay, Hariharan, we have not started JavaScript yet. Have we started? Like we have learned object basic one, not the advanced one. How to work with JSON and all we have not covered. But what is object you already know, right? I already told you, right? Object is a property, like you can store anything in this object. Like if I give you one box, you can put anything in this box. Okay, you can also access anything inside this box as and when required, right? Okay, so this is known as object. In the object it is denoted by this one. Okay, inside this you can put anything, like I have also explained you about the keys and no values. Okay, key value pair are there. Okay, so it will be this one. Inside this, if you have this one like name such as Hariharan, so in this particular object, this name is your key, this Hariharan is your value. You will bifurcate with it by this colon. I hope we have covered this in this like second or third session. We have covered this initially. If not, if you're not aware about this, just search it or watch recording. We have covered this, right? Right now, everyone. Basic is covered, I think so, in your batch. Cool. Okay. Okay. Now coming towards our question of the factorial. So can I tell you the logic? Like I already told the logic, but do you want me to explain in detail about everything, or you want me to jump to the another question? Whether like if you want me to implement program also, then I'm fine with it. I don't have any issue in that. Can we do? But see, Likit, keys would be always inside this one. You can do this, but keys would be inside this one. So whatever you have write, okay, it will be inside this, like D, B, H, D, whatever you have written, it will be inside this bracket. Okay. Okay, I'll be explaining again, Ankit. Cool. I'll be explaining again, no worries. So can you please, Ankit, can you please tell me in which particular part you want me to explain? You just guide me through that with code. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's say let me just go in this particular Mozilla Firefox. Okay, let me refresh this. Okay, so if you want to find the factorial of any number, okay, so as I said that no, let's just try with the function one. Okay, so yesterday also we have tried with function, I guess. So the function fact is your function. Okay, inside this you will pass your number, right? Yes or no? Okay, so you can assume that it will result, it will return you, it will return you the it will return you the factorial of a number. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it will return you factorial number. Okay. Okay, now you have to call your function with any value such as 5. Okay, so it will be equivalent to 5 factorial. Am I okay till this point? Am I okay till this point, everyone? Okay, now the question comes how to write this logic. Okay, so as we have seen in this, that every time your factorial would be what, uh, n into n minus 1 factorial. Cool, right? So we'll be writing that writing that also, like your factorial would be what, number into fact of n minus 1. Yes or no? This is the same now, we have written this one also, n into n minus 1 factorial. That's the same thing we have written, number into n minus 1 fact of number minus 1, right? Yes. Okay, we have to return this, so we'll return this. Okay, but the condition is whenever you will encounter that number is equals to 0, you have to return what, 1. Okay, because 0 factorial is anyway 1. Cool. Okay, so this is your program. We have to console this, console.log fact of 5. Let's say, let's see the answer if coming soon or not. Okay, it's coming, right people. So this is the same thing that we just saw this. right? So it's as simple as that. Okay, it's pretty simple to understand. Okay, yes or no? Nilanjan, I think so. I have explained the logic, na? Do you understand this one? Okay, in return, you want to explain the logic. Okay, okay. So if you want, if you have any doubt with the respect to return, then let me just first tell you this one. Okay, so if you have a variable such as result, okay, Nilanjan. So result will be holding your particular value. Cool. Okay. So your result is equals to number into factor of num minus one, right? Right? Yes. But if your number is zero, then your result would be result into one. This is right or not? This is right or not? Yes. Can we call function inside the? So we did the same, na? See what we did the earlier. See, we did the same thing, na? This is your fact function. Inside this, we have called the same function. Yunus, yes or no? Right? This is your fact function. Inside this, we have called the function. How to call the function? By this one, na? In the parentheses, we have to pass the number. Yes, right? Cool. Okay. So now, for those guys who don't understand, oh, so sorry, I have closed it eventually. No man, no worries. I'll just open this one. Uh, Firefox. Yes, fact is a predefined function. We have defined, na? No, it's not predefined. Sorry, it's a user defined function. We have defined it, na? So we are user. So it's a predefined function. Okay. So I think so. It's gone. But just a second. I think so. It's the same thing that we have posted yesterday on the dpaste. Okay. I think so. I have the link of this dpaste. Let me open this. Pictorial. This one, right? We have this particular code. Let me paste this. Okay. So now for those guys who don't understand what is return, okay, so for them I'm explaining one different thing. Let's say this is your function demo. Cool. Okay, inside this demo you are returning 2. Okay, just number integer of 2. Now if you call this function console dot log demo, so return means this return 2 means whenever you are calling this demo, it will be replaced by the value of the return. Okay, so it will ultimately give you value of 2. Okay, return means whenever you call the function, whatever value of this return will have or hold, it will be replaced by that value. Am I till the point? Am I clear? Yes, Nishant. Yes, Yunus. Nilanjan has issues with the return one, right? Nilanjan, are you okay with this particular point? What to mean by return? Then I'll explain you how to like how return works in the factorial. Yes, okay. Okay. Now let me just paste the program that we did earlier. Okay. So this is your program. Okay. In this, when n is equals to 0, okay, we have to return 1, and when your number is not equal to 0, that means we have to return n into factor of n minus 1, right? Yes. We can create a different function inside the function. Uh, why to do that, Nilanjan? Can you please tell me why to do this? Like there is no need to declare another function inside this, na? How to perform the repeat task? Okay, okay. So see, if you if you want to you want to understand how to work, how these are the working, how this is working. Chandrakant, yes, you want to see how this is working. You are asking that, na? Chandrakant, Yunus, and one other guy who is asking the question, right? Yes or no? Okay, let's see. So see, if you are working in this, let me just copy this. So like I am a fan of Chrome, not the Firefox, with the help of like with respect to debugging only. But if I will say like coding part, it will be easy for you to understand in the Firefox as of now. But later on also you will love Chrome, not the Firefox. Cool. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so this is your scope. Okay, this is a call stack, right? Okay, now right now your number is 5. It is not 0. Okay, it will not go inside this. It will return me what? 5 into factor 4. But factor 4, do you know what is factor 4? Right now in the program you don't know, right, the factor 4, right? Yes or no? Okay, since you don't know factor 4, you will call again this fact function with the value 4. This is clear or not? It is returning me what? 5 into factor of n minus 1, that is 4. Hai na? It will return me what? Factor 4, find 5 minus 1, that is 4, right? It will call this function again with the value 4. Yes, and it will push this particular value in this call stack. N minus 1 is giving value to function. N minus 1 will not give you the value to the function. N minus 1, see, let me just tell you this. I think so. Let me tell you this in detail so that you can able to understand this. Okay, I'm glad that you have asked. Cool. Okay, so this is your function. This is okay. Where is it? Okay, can you see the function now? Can you see the function now? Okay, so let me debug how this is working. So first of all, we have called what? This fact of 5. This fact of 5 we have called, right? Okay, so if we have called this particular factor 5 function, so n will be your 5. So this n will be replaced by what? 5. Yes or no? Yes. So since n is not equal to 0, it will not enter into this particular if condition. It will return me what? N into factor of n minus 1. So since my n is 5, so it will return me what? 5 into factor of 4. Cool. Yes. But you don't know what is this factor 4 since this is a function call. Okay, since this is a function call, you have to call again a function, right? Now this time it will be not with the value 5, it will be the value with the value of 4. Okay, with the value of 4. But you have to track something na, that so inside the stack you will push this value to use later on, because you have to replace this particular value of factor 5 later on whenever you will find the value of factor 4. Correct? Okay, so or for that purpose you will push this in a call stack. Yes, yes or no? Please respond. Yes na, that you have already like, since you have initially called with the value 5. Okay, and it's 5 here, so 5 into factor 4, but you don't know where factor 4, so you will go again to find factor 4 since this is your function call. So what is your function call? Like whenever you will write a function name and write this particular parenthesis inside this, if you pass any argument, if any, right now in our case there is argument, so we have pass argument as what? 4. So this is your function call, right? So you will call this function fact again, right? Since you have to replace this particular factor 4 value later on, you will push this particular 5 into factor 4 in call stack to be replaced later on, right? So Nilanjan is perfectly right that factor 4 will wait to execute it in call stack until it is executed. So it's in waiting state right now. Correct or not? Everyone agrees with the Nilanjan and me? Yes. Okay. Now, so if you have called the function with the factor of 4. So now my n is what? 4, right? So since your n is not 0 till now, you will call this one like you will return this one like it is 4 into factor of 3. Okay, since you don't know what is factor of 3, you will push this particular value inside this call stack, that is 4 into factor of 3. Correct? You will again call this particular factor of 3 function. So it will now in this particular case your n would be 3. Your n would be 3, and you will call your function now with the value of n into like 3 into factor of 2. Agrees with me or not, everyone? Correct? Okay. Okay, so it will push this particular value inside this 3 into factor of 2. Okay, now since factor of 2 is again your function call, it will call this particular function fact function with the value 2. N equals to 2 right now, right? Okay. Okay, so this will be what? 2 into factor of 1. It will be again pushed into this 2 into factor of 1. Yes. Okay, now again it will call this particular function with the n equals to 1. Okay, now since your n is not equal to 0 still now, okay, you will call this particular return function with the n 1 into factor of 0. Okay, since you don't know what is factor of 0, you will again push this particular factor of 0 here. Okay, it will again call your function with the value 0. Now observe this time, carefully observe this time that your n is 0. This condition would be true. There is no any other call after this. Okay, because you are returning 1 here. Okay, in every other case you were executing this much, this one, that is why you were calling your function again. But in this particular case, uh, since your n is 0, you will return 1. Okay. Okay, so this particular part will be get resolved with 1 into 1, that is 1. Since you have cleared the factor of 1, it will be resolved, it will be popped out. Pop means it will be removed. Okay, now again you will replace the value of factor of 1, that will be 2 into 1, right? Right? Okay, it will be, your answer would be 2. Since you have answer of factor of 1, sorry, factor of 2, okay, this would be resolved. Okay, since you have answer of factor of 2, you will replace the value of factor of 2 here, and you will also get resolve this. Okay, since you have answer of factor of 3 here, you will push this particular factor of 3 answer here, and you will get resolve this. Okay, since you have answer of 5 into factor of 4, that is 24 here, you will get resolve this and you will return this. Clear? Yes, without n equals to 0, it will be infinite, Bharat. Right? Correct? That is why your factorial, like your recursive function are very crucial, because if you have mistakenly forgot this condition, if you have mistakenly forgot to put this much condition of return, like to stop your recursive function, you are in a big trap. You will not find where your mistake is. Okay, that is why we have to use this particular recursive function with utmost caution, utmost consciousness and caution. Okay, once factor of 0 is executed, now all call stack expression is executed in order. It is called correct. Exactly, Nilanjan, you are getting correct thing. Okay, so that is what I was about to show you. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here in our execution part. Where is it? This browser, it was there. Anyway, okay, anyway, let me close this and let me open this. Control L, and this is your function. Okay, okay, let's debug this now from the beginning. Whatever we have seen in this particular manual debugging, I will show you. Okay, so now since you have called this, initially if you see in your call stack, since you are calling this fact of phi, okay, you can see that this fact has been inserted in this with the value phi. Can you see this? Can you see this, everyone? Okay, inside this call stack, you can see your function name and with the value of your parameter, that is n equals to phi here. You can also hover on this and you can check. Okay, this is phi, right? Right? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now you will check whether n is equals to phi or not, 0 or not. Since it's not 0, it will return me phi into factor of 4. So you can see here, after executing this, phi into factor 4, new fact has been inserted in this. Okay. So now you can see the pointer here. So now it is inside the factor of 4. Okay. So that is why your pointer is here and factor phi is pushed down. It is not currently executing. Okay. It is not currently executing. Right? Yes. Okay. Currently it is executing factor 4. Correct or not? Yes. Factor phi is pushed inside like down in the call stack, such as this much of case. So right now you have executed this. Correct? Okay. Now if you again press F10, it will again check 4 is equals to 0 or not. It is not. Okay. It will again check. It will again return 4 into factor of 3. Okay. So now you can see with the n equals to 3, you are calling your again factorial function, and your factor 4 is now not executing. It is pushed. It is waiting for to executing factor of 3. Yes. Right. Right. Yes or no? Everyone. Right now. Okay. Now if I go again with the value 3, it will again call with the value 2. Okay. It will similarly, it will again call with the value 1. Okay. Every other thing are waiting for each and other. Okay. Now with the value 1, since 1 minus 1 is 0, it will call with the value zeros. You can see this is pushed with the n equals to 0. Okay. Since this return 1 will be executing, it will be popped out immediately. You can see it has been popped out. Okay. Zeros fact is popped out. Okay. Similarly, your fact of 1 is also popped out. Fact of 2 will be also popped out with respect to like where you have solved the fact of 3. That is why. Okay. It is also showing you the return value of fact of 3. Okay. Okay. Similarly, you can also see the return value of 4. It is 24. And similarly, you can also see the return value of phi, that is 120. It will be returned in this. That is why it will be logged as 120 here. Am I clear? Everyone, am I clear up to this point? Everyone? Yes, it is crystal clear. It has to be crystal clear because yesterday also I explained this much. Right? It's okay to ask doubt, but you have to be conscious. In the yesterday's lecture, like you have asked this doubt, that means yesterday you missed something and you did not ask any doubt. Yes, it's okay to have this particular scenario once or twice, but not every time. Hai na? Please ask doubt if you have any at that particular point of time only. Okay? Yes, Chandrakant, that is what my aim is, to not forget anything in your life. You don't have to remember anything, right? Okay? That is what my aim is. That is why I am explaining and I'm working hard for you. Okay? Okay? Anyway, let's move to another question. That will be your so this is clear, right? Fibonacci series. Yes. Okay. Now we'll move quickly. Like you will also get to know about the logic, right? The without using this uh, call stack, or without using the recursive function, you can also implement this with respect to the loop. No, Nilanjan, Fibonacci series not called as recursive. We have used recursive function to implement the Fibonacci series logic. But recursiveness is what? Recursive is calling function itself. Okay. So if you have called this fact function, this is a fact function. If you have called this particular same fact function inside your this fact function, that this is known as a recursive function. You can observe that we have called this fact function. We have called this fact function inside the fact function. Okay, whether or not we are not bothered about parameters. Parameters will be obviously different, but the function name is same, right? This is something known as recursive function. Okay, we'll understand it bit in detail in the functions lecture. Okay, yeah, so Fibonacci series also one of the same example. Okay, in the Fibonacci series also we have used the recursive way. Okay, I have explained the factorial, but you can assume, right, this is a Fibonacci or not. This is a function, right? In Fibonacci also we'll implement the same function. Okay, I will show you in the Fibonacci term, like in the Fibonacci is pending, right? Okay, so sorry, Fibonacci, I have deleted the factorial, right? है ना? Yes, sorry about it, Hariharan. I just realized that I explained the factorial, not Fibonacci. Okay, so we'll understand Fibonacci. After that, I will get to know, like, but recursive way is like one kind of term, just a way that if you do 2 plus 3, if you do 2 plus 3, then can you call this as you have implement JavaScript? You cannot, right? Because Java, inside the JavaScript you can do like many things. This is known as addition, but this addition, if you do in JavaScript, then this will be known as addition operation is occurred in JavaScript language. Okay, that's the same way recursive is a big topic. Okay, we have used recursive feature to implement the factorial, or we will use the same feature to implement Fibonacci. Okay, so that it will not call like Nilanjan has asked that this Fibonacci series or this factorial function is also called as recursive or not. So it will not called as recursive. There is no like Fibonacci series, another name is not recursive, but we have implemented it using recursive function. I hope I'm okay with till this point, right? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so I was about to explain you uh, the pyramid triangle, right? So with the pyramid triangle or any kind of triangle, if we have observed, uh okay, so in that particular triangle, if you can see, then pyramid is what? Pyramid is what? Like, how does this pyramid look like? It will be look like this only, like star, 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 star. Okay, for n equals to 4, it will look like this only. Correct or not? Yes? Yes or not? Yes or no? Yes. So as I have taught you that first you have to make a particular map inside this for I and j, or you can call as row and calls. Okay, these are the spaces. So we will start with 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are the spaces: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 1. Yes. Okay. Okay, so now can you guys can observe a pattern, like this is my row number 1, 2, 3, 4. These are my spaces 3, 2, 1 and 0, and my n is equals to 4 here, and this is my number of stars. Forget about number of stars right now. Okay, forget about number of stars, I'll explain you just after this. So can you observe a pattern in between of these two? So for row number 1, there are 3 spaces for n equals to 4. For row number 2, there are 2 spaces for n equals to 4. There are, if my row number is 3, then my space will be 1. If my row number is 4, then my space will be 0 for n equals to 4. Okay. So can I say that my n is equals to row number plus spaces? Yes. So if you add this 2, then this is my row number. Yes. Yes or no? Yes. So can I say that my spaces would be n minus row number. Yes, yes. Okay. And can I also say, so my spaces are clear? So I have cleared this much of triangle. Okay, so my spaces are clear. Yes. So I am just only left with the stars. Yeah. Yes. Okay. For the stars, you can also observe with the same thing, that if my row number is one, let me just there's less space here, so I'll just delete this, or I'll just make it again. Okay. So this is my row number and this is my stars. Okay. So if my row number is one, there how many stars are there? One. For row number two, how many stars are there? Three. For row number three, how many stars are there? Three to five. For row number four, how many stars are there? Three, six, and seven. Right? Right? So for printing stars, what would be your logic? Okay, what is the relation between these two? For row number and stars, what is the relation between these two? So Hariharan is right. Likhit is also right, but Likhit, you have to make it for every cases, right? So I guess you have written I, hai na? Aha, you have written I, so it's okay. But don't use the variable called as I and j from now onwards. Okay, we'll make this practice. For initial classes, we have used the variable name as I and j, but for future use, we, if possible, then we tend to avoid it. Okay, because variable names called as I and j would be not preferable to use. Okay, so everyone is, I think so, almost right, you know. So let's implement this also. Okay, so what would be my formula for the number of stars? That's, let's say, if I'll multiply my row number with 2, let's say 2 into 1, that will be 2 minus 1 for n equals to, for row number 1. Okay, it will return me what? 1. So can I say 2 into row number minus 1 would be my number of stars in a particular row? Okay, now forget about this space, because if you print star and space here, it will be same like this: star with space, this star with space, this is the star with space, this is the star with space. So you don't have to print another, like you don't have to make any other logic for this space. Am I clear? Am I clear, guys? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Yes. Right. Okay. Yes, this one. Yeah, yeah. Ekta is right. This one will be implementing. Okay. So let's come into the implementation part. Didn't get the last time you said. Okay, Vishal, as I said that if you observe in this, that is not a single star. This is not a single star. This is a star with space, right? This star with space. Yes. So I said that if you need to print this space, this particular spaces, you had a separate logic for that. Let's say space equals to n minus row number. Okay? This was my logic. But for printing this star, you don't require any other additional logic. Since if you print star and the space here in console.log, okay, it will be work. It will work for you. That's what I said. Okay? I'll show you in implementation what I meant. Okay, na? Okay, cool. So let's start with the implementation part. Okay, so we'll progress step by step. We'll not write entire code. Okay, we'll progress step by step. Let's say I'll just first take n equals to what? My 4, right? Okay, for printing the string, I'll take output str or output string as empty. Yes, correct. Now for printing this particular rows, let's say 1 2 3 4, I will make a loop. Like you have to have like you had like you have to have this particular row na, then only you can print the space and star. Yes or no? Yes. So we'll just first print the rows. So for an example, my row is starts with 1, row should end at 4, right? So that is why row less than equals to n and row plus plus. Okay. Inside this, I'll just print console dot log my row. Okay. Let's say what would be my output. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, my rows are printed. Rows are printed. This part is clear. So my base is clear. So I can build my building. I can construct my building now. Right or not? Yes. Okay. So now, first step of yours would be to print these spaces in your building, and then after the stars, right? Okay. So for spaces, you are clear that your logic is this one: spaces equals to n minus row number. We have derived this. Yes or no? Everyone? Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. So now I just remove this log and I'll just print it as for this will be my space logic. So I'll initially with the space is equals to 1, space less than or equals to n, and space plus plus. Cool. Okay. Inside this, I'll just print console dot log my space, empty space. Okay. But one big thing here is like logic. Where should I stop? So as we have already initialized that spaces would be n minus row number. So n minus row. Am I right? Am I right? Yes. So let me just print it like this way, 1. Okay. And let's check it's printing or not. So see, right now I think so you cannot able to check this, but let's say if we want to check this, let's try this. Console output string will append this in output string. Okay. We'll just check whether it is printing my space or not. Okay. So instead of space, I'm printing something else so that I can check, because if space are printing, I cannot check anything, right? Output str is equals to output str plus slash n. Why slash n? Because you can see that after 3 spaces I need to break my line and I need to print it again, right? है ना? Okay. And then after this I'll just print console dot log output str. Let's see whether it will print or not. So you can see that, right? So my space are printing. Instead of space I have just printed 1. Okay. So you can check, like I need 3 spaces, so instead of that I have printed 1 to check. Okay. So it is printing 3 in first row, second for 2, and 1 for third, and fourth it is 0, right? So it is printing correctly. For this empty, you can check it. Cool. Okay. So instead of this we'll just write space, so it's working. We will get to know about this, right? Cool. Okay. Now since I want 3 space and 1 star, so I cannot just break line after the space, right? So I have to print the star also, right? So I'll just print here star is equals to 1, and I'll just print the logic of star. That would be what we have derived something here, 2 into row number minus 1. Yes. Yes or no? Okay. So star would be less than or equals to 2 into my row minus 1. Okay. I'll just make it in a bracket so that you guys cannot confuse for this. Okay. And star plus plus. Inside this I'll print my star. Yes or no? Okay. So output str is equals to output str plus star, right? Yes. Yes. Let's check. See, it's printing like this, but I want space in between of this. As I said, I want space like this. It is a bit congested, right? So I'll just make it as star and space. Let's check now. Oh, there's something wrong. There is something wrong. I think so. I need to do this. Okay. So can you see the guys? Can you see? It's printing 1, 3, 5, and 7 rows. That's yes, but it's not proper, na? In the first line, you can see it's not proper, right? Yes. Okay, I'll just maximize my screen. If you guys can, just a second. I'm not able to maximize it. I'm not sure why. Let me run this in console. Okay, I just maximize it. No, maximize will not make any difference. Okay, so maximize would not work, right? So let's do something else here. Okay, so if you observed here, see our triangle also looks like this: three spaces, one. Uh, 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 uh okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Let's try this. It's the same thing. You have to print like this way. I think so. I think space is having some issue. I'm not sure what it is. No, I have tried, na. Nilanjan, I have tried the space, start and space. It's not working somehow. I think so. There is something issue with the star. Logic is perfectly fine because you can see 1, 3, 5, 7 stars are printing, right? If you just do this, it will be print like this. Okay, and is equals to space before and after the start. Yeah, we did the same. We did the same, na. Stay like space before and after the star. Output str is equals to, okay, this will be not make any difference. I think so. If we add the space here, I think don't think so it will make any difference. I think it will not make any difference. But what I can do here, two spaces are coming, yeah, because yes, it is coming two spaces somehow. It coming with the two spaces. I need just one space. I need just one space. No, line 6 would be for the initial spaces, like this way. If line 6 is removed, then this space would not come. Okay. So this would become if I remove the line 6. Okay. So if you want to achieve this, let me think. Give a space after the star only. Okay. But I think so. This first star is having any like some issue. Space is only one. Like in between of the star, space is only one. Okay. Space is only one. Output str, two spaces are there. No, there is no two spaces. There's two spaces, guys. Line number 6. Oh, yeah. I think so. That would it would work. It would work. Yeah, it would work. Okay. See, okay. I got it. I got the point. In the line number 6, we have to give two spaces in order to print this because after like this first star was having issue, right? So we have to shift everything one step right side, right? We have to shift everything one step right side, you know. So that is why we included the two spaces here. Okay. So instead of this, you can observe now it would be two spaces. So instead of this three space, now it would be two space. Since I have just handwritten this, that is why it was not observed here that there is one space or two space, but it is like two space here. Okay. If you just include one space, then it would be not proper. But if you just do this, then it would not make any difference in this. Okay. You can also implement it like this way, only with the one space. So this is also correct, and this is also correct. This is for only with one space. This is for two space. Cool. Right. Perfect. Okay. So this is how you can put your thoughts also in the class, and you can also help others, and you can also solve some real-time problems that I like that we are also having. Cool. Okay. It would be helping, right? Your mind would be open in this particular way if you are working on this. Otherwise, I can also, like, I can just write the code and I'll just explain you that. But first I will explain the logic, and then after we have implemented that on paper, on code. Okay, Ojas is saying that logic once again. Okay, so see, Ojas, if you want to learn the logic, then see, you can just see here how many spaces are there. First of all, you have to see how many rows are there. So for rows, we have implemented, first of all, this particular outer loop. Okay, so this is our box. You will implement everything inside this box, yes or no, Ojas? Yes. Okay, so we have particularly made a particular box in the outer side loop. Okay, this will be your outer loop. Whatever you will working, it will be implemented in this. So that is why I have console this before writing this much. Yes or no? Or just getting this point? Yes. So now after you made this particular box, you have to see what you need to print. So in that particular case, I need to print, first of all, I need to print the space. I have divided my particular problem in two problems. You know, I have divided my problem into two sub problems. First of all, this space, and second one is this stars. Cool. Okay. Right. So for the space, I made the logic on paper that I observed that for the first row, my spaces are 3, second for 2, third for 1, fourth for 0. So my spaces would be anyway n minus row number. Cool. So how I achieved this particular logic or formula? Through this, n equals to row number plus space. So you can observe that 1 plus 3 equals to n. 2 plus 2 would be n equals to 4. 3 plus 1 would be also n. 4 plus 1, 0 would be also n, right? So spaces would be what? N minus row number. I have just made spaces in the left hand side, and so n minus row number would be my spaces, correct? Or this formula is clear? Okay. So I ran the same loop in this. So for spaces, I observed that my space would be start from 1 and it would go until n minus row. Okay, and space plus plus, and I printed the space here. Okay, I printed the single space here, right? Okay. Now I have observed that after my spaces, I need to print my stars. This stars. Okay. So again for stars also I made the same logic that if my row number is 1, then star will be 1. For 2, 3. For star row number 3, it would be 5. For row number 4, it would be 7. So I observed that if I multiply my row number with the 2 minus 1 would be my stars. Okay, so for row number 1, it would be 2 into 1 minus 1 would be 1. For row number 2, it would be 2 into 2, that will be 4, minus 1, that would be 3. So that is my answer of stars. Number of stars. Ojas, am I clear? Yes. Okay, so that is what I have implemented in this. I hope, am I clear now? Yes or no? Please say yes or no. Cool. Okay. Yes. Everyone, for everyone else also, that this point is clear. Yes. Yes or no? Okay. So any doubt in this particular question? So for this kind of question, whenever you encounter this kind of question, you should see and you should observe one kind of pattern. Every time the pattern would be form in form of like stars, or in form of like anything. You have to observe. That's what I told in the first lecture also, that you have to, your observation power would be powerful. There will be no any other excuse on this. Okay, right? Okay, the star logic. Okay. Oh, okay. See, Deepak, can you observe for row number 1 how many stars are there? Number of stars I'm asking. For row number 2, how many stars are there? And for row number 1, Deepak, please answer. How many stars are there for row number 1 and 2? 1 and 3, right? For row number 3 and 4, how many stars are there? for row number 3 and 4, how many stars are there, please? Do we need to make a formula every time? Can we do it in other ways also? No, we shall formula has to be formed. Okay. So for row number 3 and 4, it would be 5 and 7, right? So you have to write in the paper, on the paper, this, that for row number 1, my star is 1, for 2 it's 3, for 3 it's 5, and 4 it's 7. Okay. So there has to be some formula in between this. You have to form a formula that would be true every time. Okay. So I've made this formula that 2 into row number minus 1. Okay. So put any number here and evaluate the star number as answer. For an example, if I put 4 in this particular formula, what is the answer, Deepak? What would be your answer in the case of 4? With the logic, can we make a reverse pyramid also? Yes, you can make it. You can make it. Okay. So Nilanjan, try to implement the reverse pyramid. This is your homework. Vishal, if I'll tell you the logic of hollow star, I can tell you. I can also explain you, but I'll just tell you the logic. Okay. Or else I'll give you some time to think about the hollow star, think about the logic, and then we'll came to know about the particular thing. Okay, you don't know the logic of particular hollow star, but just a wait for 2 minutes. Deepak, are you getting the answer for row number 4? I gave you this task. What is the answer of 4 if you put in this logic? You got it, na? Cool. Okay. So Vishal, can you please tell me what is the doubt in the hollow star pattern? So there are many kind of hollow star. Huh? Which kind of hollow star you are? Okay, I couldn't make a formula for that. Okay, you want a formula for that, right? So yeah, let me tell you. Let me tell you first what is the hollow star, right? Now, so the hollow star would be look like something this, that star. How to print this? Think about it. How to print this? So first of all, you will make a logic for the rows, not this one. So which kind of hollow star you are talking about? There are many kind of hollow star. Hollow star is a like very vast topic to in the pattern part. Hollow pyramid. Okay, hollow pyramid. So I guess so you don't have any access to share the pictures, right? You have access to share the pictures here? No, right? I think so. No. So like hollow pyramid would be look like this one. This one, na? Right, Vishal? Okay. So in this particular hollow pyramid, if you observed, wait a minute. Okay, this is your hollow pyramid. Yes or no? Yes. Yes or no? So in this particular case, if you observe, then you have to first print the whole pyramid. Okay, don't worry about the in between of spaces. Like, can you print this particular whole pyramid or not? Or first of all, I'll just let you know. Like, I'll give you some time to think about it for everyone else also. Okay, just think about it. How we can print it? What should be a logic? I will just give you the 5 minutes to think about it. Okay. See, if you can print one thing, then you can also manipulate every other thing. Yeah, we can manipulate the previous code also. I'm just asking about the logic. What should be a logic? Okay, no problem, Vishal. We'll make the formula. Don't worry. So first of all, you can say that you need to print the space. You need to print the spaces also, right? Okay. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Right. So if you observe, then you first of all you need to print the rows also. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 5. 5 rows you need to print. So I'll take the input as n equals to 5. Okay. So first of all, you will make the outer loop as row equals to 1, row less than equals to n, row plus plus, right? Okay. Now for spaces, if you observe, then every time. So let me just show you. So what should be a logic for space? If anyone have observed, for first we print 1 star, for second n minus 1 star space star, for n star only. Let me read again. First row we print 1 star. Okay. For second to n minus 1 star space. Okay. Space wale star. Okay. Right. Okay. For n only stars. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Navneet, your observation is right. But there's a question here. How to print this? How to print this? That is my question. First of all, you need to print this space. Yes or no? Yes. So this space has to be clear. Like how to print this space, you can observe the same logic as previous one. So outer logic and the space logic are same. So if you can observe here, then n minus row number would be your space here. Yes or no? Yes. So this space is clear. So this part is already been clear, right? This part is already been discussed. Vishal, yes. Can you do this? Okay, outer star like this row one, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This row one logic and the space logic. It's clear. Only logic is left here is to print the star. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So now the question comes for, so if I'll tell you that if you have star here instead of this space, if you have star here, there's the same question that we did. Yes. So do you need to just remove the in between of stars, right? Right. Now, if you observe, then in inner stars, like after the star is having one space. This star is having two space. This is having three space. This is having zero space. Okay. Yes. And for one also there is zero space. Okay. Right or not? Yes or no? Yes. So first of all, you need to print. So for this stars, this pyramid, the logic is we had this 2 into row number minus 1. If you print this, and it will print entire star, entire pyramid as per like previous logic. Yes. So you need to print this one first of all, entire stars. Now inside of this, you need to tweak your logic to print star. You don't have to print this console dot log star. You will not do this, because if you do this, then it will print entire stars. It will not print the space. So in between of this, you have to add your spaces. So it is clear where you need to write your extra logic here apart from the previous logic. So I'm asking basically that we have written this one. We have written the outer logic for rows. We have written the logic for the spaces. Now, if you just do this and print your star here, then it will print the entire stars. Like it will print like this way, right? But we don't need this particular stars, right? So we need to tweak some logic in between of this. Yes. Yes. Okay. So now observe one pattern here. So if your row is 0, like in this particular case, it means like row is, if your row is 1, है ना? Or your row is end one, this one. You need to print entire spaces, like entire stars, not the spaces. Yes. So can I say that if my row is having 0 or 0 or 2 into row number minus 2, that means if we put 1 here, that means 2 into 1 minus 2, that means 0. You need to print 0 here. If I'll pass my logic as 1 here, so 2 into 1, that is 2 minus sorry, 2 here, 2 into 2 is 4 minus 2, that means 2, and the number of stars will be 2 here. I'm talking about stars. Yes. If I put the number 3 here, then 3 into 2, that will be 6 minus 2, that will be 4. But 4 logic, like number 4, that will be break here. It is not true. So this logic will not work. Yes or no? Yes or no? So now think about it. Like I have already been given like sufficient hints for this. The only question remains how to print the inner spaces. Yes or no? Yes. So can anyone tell me the logic? Yes, Vishal, you have to use the if for exception. Don't worry about it. We will also use the if for exceptions. First row and final row. Okay. For entire stars, first and final row, that is clear. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. What else? Can anyone tell me what we can do for the space of between? For space nested loop. Okay. Yeah, we can, like, for space is nested loop. Okay, fine, no problem. I made a different loop for everything. For if k is 1 or k equals to n, only then print star, else print space. Okay, that's something interesting. K means here the star number, right, Ekta? Okay, cool. Okay. So Ekta says that if we have our k as 1 or k is equals to 5, or let's say n here, we need to print entire star. But Ekta, what for 2, 3, 4 number line? Line number 2, 3, 4, what we'll do? What we will do for number 2, 3, and 4? Anyone have any idea about this? Anyone have any idea about this? If column is equals to n minus 1, then print star. Let's check. Let's check. If my column number is n minus 1, that means let's check for column number 1. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if my column number is 1, then I need to print 5 minus, sorry, n is 5 minus 1, that is 4. N is like 4 here. Like you are calling, like you are telling about only column. Row should be also there, na? Otherwise it will not work. It will print entire thing for every the same case, every same case. So can you guys tell me that if you need to print this, it's pretty simple. Like, why you are complicating this? Can you guys can tell me that if you need to print this, you can print it, right? This triangle, it's pretty easy. And this outer triangle is having a stars. So what's the mistake here? Like, what's the difficult thing here? I'm not getting it. Like, why you are guys thinking so much? Okay, let me tell you. Let me tell you without wasting much time. So, we'll start from the beginning. Okay. So for line number for rows, we already made the logic with the uh for row equals to 1, row should be less than or equals to n, and row plus plus. Okay. This will be make your rows, right? This will be make your 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Yes, correct or not? Correct. Okay. Now for printing the spaces, your logic would be for initial spaces, your logic would be what? Your uh, space should be less than n. If this is what your logic would be for spaces, same as before, but I'm telling something different here. Please observe. So if we'll start our space with 1, let's say if I will start my space with 1, if I'm going till the time my n reaches, I'm increasing my space every time. Can even tell me what it will be get printing? If I'll just print here the space here, what it will get print? Let's check. Okay. If you are not getting it, let's check. Only we have to change our logic or tweak our logic like this much only, that instead of n minus row, we'll just do n, and here I'll just print console dot log 1. Okay. See, if you are not getting it, no, with the 1 plus 1, I am explaining you with the 2 minus 1. Okay, in another way. Cool. And I am just printing here. Let me just print 1 here, and new line, output str is equals to output str plus slash n. Okay. Now see, this printing like this, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, right? Right? So it's not working properly, I think so. It's not working properly, I think so. Yes. Now, have you got any idea about this? I have explained this. Have you got any idea about this? So now, if I'll just do this, na, n minus row number, okay? So it will print our like the same way our previous logic. Cool. Yes. So it will do our job of this one. This first job is done. Yes. Now for our second job, we will check. We will check. This pretty simple. Don't worry about it. We'll check if my row is equals to 1, or if my row is equals to n. Okay, for this both rows I need to print what? The stars only, है ना? Yes. Okay, so I'll print stars only. So how to print the stars only? We already did this na, and before. For star is equals to 1, star should be less than or equals to row, you know, and star plus plus. Yes. I hope this particular this point is clear with you. Yes or no? Please say yes or no. Everyone. Yes. Let's try to print this. What will we get printed? Okay, so see the holo, like if you get exclude this particular thing, I'll just print a star instead of one. I'll just print space here. You guys can understand it, right? You guys can understood it, na? That it's not one, it's space, right? For the understanding purpose, we have printed this. Can you see it as printing first row and last row? Right. So only thing is left with the two second and third row for n equals to 4. Yes or no? Yes or no? So if my row is one or last, I'll print this. Else, for every other scenario, what should I do now? This is the main thing here. This is the main thing here. What should I do? So I'll first print star. You can see, like, first I need to print what? Star, right? Hai. So I'll print output str is equals to output str plus star. Yes. Yes. Let's check it, what it will get printed. Okay, so it is done. Star is printed. Now I need to do what? Just do my spaces and print the last line, last stars. Yes or not? Yes or no? Now the logic comes here, that now the thing will be observed. Like I was expecting this from you, but you, since you guys didn't appear for this before, it's okay, I can understand that. Okay, so now observe, if my row and this is my space, okay, for the inner space I'm talking about, okay, and this was my output. So sorry, I did something wrong here, I think so. It will be printing like this. Like this way, correct? Correct. For n equals to 4, it will print 4 star here and 1 star here, correct? Yes or no? Yes. Now, since we have printed this one, since we have already printed this one, only thing is left with inner part. So you can observe that if my row, just a second, I'm connecting my charger. So if my row and this is my space, okay, so if my row is first row one, so my space would be how much? 0, right? If my row is 2, my space is how much? 1. Yes. If my row is 3, then my space is how much? 3. If my row is 4th, then space is how much? So 4th is already not covered, na? 4th will be not covered, and first will be also not covered. Okay, so we'll just print for the second and third only, right? Right or not? Yes. So what will be the logic now? What will be the logic now? 2 into rows plus 1. Okay, let's check it. 2 into rows, that will be 2 plus 1. So it is not right, like 4 plus 1, that is 5, but I need 1. Please check Hariharan. Row number minus 1. So if you do row number minus 1, then 3 minus 1, that will be 2, but I want 3. Right? Think about it more. Think about it. Can I say that 2 into my row number minus 3? Okay? Can I say 2 into row number minus 3? That will be 2 into 2 minus 3. That will be 4 minus 3, 1. For row number 3, that will be 2 into 3 minus 1. That will be 6 minus 1. That will be 5. Sorry, it's wrong, right? It's 5 spaces. Sorry, it's 5 spaces, not 3. So sorry about it. It's 5 spaces, and here it's 2 spaces. I hope am I making sense? Am I making sense, people? No? Why? Yes, exactly. You should ask it. Yes. See, 3 spaces, then 5 spaces. Okay. If row number is 2 or 3, it will be I equals to 1, I minus minus. I'm not getting it, Vishal. Can you please explain it for me? Vishal, can you please explain it for me? So I'll do one thing. I'll do one thing. I'll make it proper for you so that you can understand it, right? And you can make it proper way. But logic is, I think so, somewhat clicked in some like 2 or 3's mind. This is star, this is star, 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 and star and star. Okay. Now it be in between of this. If you observe, then here it would be one space. It will be two space. It will be 1, 2, and 3 space. Correct? Correct? Yes. Yes or no? So now Bharat says something right. Bharat, please put into this no into formula. It's working or not? In this formula, it's working or not? For row number two, this is my row number two. For row number two, 2 into 2 minus 3, that is what? 1. It's printing one space. For row number 3, it is printing what? 3 into 2, 6 minus 3. It is printing 3 space, but I want just 2 spaces, right? After one space, there will be 3 space. Am I right or not? We are on correct path or not? Not. So what should be a correct path? I'm asking that. See, we have almost there. You know, we are almost there. We just need to complete this one, this part after the spaces one, right? Right. So we are almost there. Please think. If I will tell you every point of time, you will not develop your logic, है ना? Yes or no? Can't we do n minus one space? Okay. So see, if you do n minus one space, then this is right. Load on row number two. For row number two, that will be one space. That's correct. Okay. For row number three, it would be okay. Just a second. Just a second. I'll do this. I'll do this. And I'll run it again. Okay. Now for row number two, as Ekta says, n minus one space. For row number two, that will be only one space. Correct. For row number two, it will be 2 minus 1. That will be all. For row number 3, it will be 2 space. Correct. Okay. So we can go with, I think so, n minus 1 space if you want to try it. Okay. Let's try it. Na? You want to try it or not? You want to try it or not? Yes, yes or no? Done. Bharat says done. Bharat, how you have printed? I want just logic. Yes, Ekta, you should try. That's what I am not trying right now. You should try. Bharat, please share the logic. है ना? Don't share the code so that everyone else cannot see it. है ना? I want everyone to code this problem. They're like, we already done the no this part. I'm just want the exact logic of the last part, and you are thinking like this much. It's not expected. Can I say? Can I do this? That let's try something else. Okay? Let's try something else. Can I say that in my else part, in this particular part, if my uh, space is 0, sorry, space is already done, right? So we don't have any excess with the space right now. But what we'll do with the 2i plus 1, it's not implemented yet. Okay, so we cannot do this here. Okay, so Bharat says space is less than or 2 into rho minus 3. But Bharat, I think so everyone else are denying this fact of 2 into rho minus 3. I already no shared the hint of this 2 n to n minus 3 previously, right? I think so. In which one? In this particular case, right? But everyone else are denying this fact. Can you please share how, why they are denying? Can you please share why they are denying? They were at almost at the verge of solving this, but they are denying it. Can you please tell me why? Now, if I'll just tell you, if you just want to explain it, then we'll do the reverse engineering here. Okay. So if you are denying it, let's do this. And then after I'll ask you why it is printing like this. Okay, I'll ask the different way. First of all, I have explained the logic and printed this. Now I'll print this, and I'll tell you that how to print, how it is getting printed. You have to share the logic. Is it cool? Is it cool? You'll learn something new. I'll share the answer and I'll ask you the question. That's what I'm telling you. Bharat is also not sharing the logic. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, so for an instance, I'll do the star is equals to 1. Okay, I'll go till star is less than or equals to 2 into rho minus 3 every time, and I'll do the star plus plus here. Inside this, I'll print uh, console or else output str is equals to output str plus space, you know. And after this, the for this particular case, this is for space that you have to figure out. Now for this one, I'll again print out the star. Output is equals to output str plus star. Now even after this, if you are not able to get this, okay, that's okay, I'll explain you, don't worry. But please try to understand how it is working. For this particular case, slash n is also there. The last line is not printing properly. It was printing perfectly before. Output str plus star space in first loop. This one. This one. And number 10. This one. If I do this, and this. This again not printing properly. So now you have observed that your space logic were not proper. N is 4 and star is 5, right? Right or not? Okay, so it's saying Likit is saying not line number 14. Let's try to run this. Okay, so now except Likit and Bharat, can anyone tell me what is happening here? What is happening here? Can anyone tell me what is happening here? I'll just put this code like this way. Line in the line number ninth line, star is less than equals 2 into row minus 1. 2 into row minus 1. But this is for this rows, like this stars. It will not work like that way. No need. I think so. I am clear with up to this point now, that this one and this one, we just have remained with the star space and star, this one, like, correct? Now can anyone explain me the logic? I have explained the, like, I have written the code and I have also produced the output. Now the question is how it is getting printed. Guys, are you getting me or not? In fourth row, star should be 7. No, it should not. It should not 7. Where is Bharat and Likit? They told the logic na. So where they have told the logic, I want to know that. From where they have come to know about the logic. Okay, let me explain now. No, I told it, but I eventually, like, I misguide you that it will not work, right? And you all said yes, it will not work. Now I have shown that it is working. Now I'm asking. I just told about the spaces. That's what my question is, like how the spaces are printing. That's what the question is, है ना? Like it. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do this together. Okay. So now whenever you will get this kind of question, what first you need to do, that is pretty much clear. Like you guys were helpful to me till this point. Like we did this together. This one, this particular one, and this one. Okay, we did this together. Okay, this star. Okay. Now my question was that how to print this one. Okay, in a triangle. Okay, for that I also given you the hint with the 2 row minus 1, okay, minus 3, but you denied that. But I'll explain you how it is working, right? So see, for every one, for everything, like I just added this much of line new, except that everything was clear to you, right? So if I just remove this, then you can observe that this one was also clear to you, right? This one was clear to you now. For everyone, we coded this together. Cool. Yes, yes. So now I just added this much line. So you have to think just for this lines. So think about it, na? That you have to start with the star number
Hello.
1. Yes, who is this?
So it's
Your
me.
voice.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, yes,
Hello.
yes, yes.
Am I audible properly?
Yeah, you're audible now.
Okay, so what I was saying that like since we have done this previously, this question, so what we did here was we took care of the outer space just like before, and for the row number 1 and n, we printed this entire row. Okay,
Correct,
so like for any row other than 1 and n, we need to take care of the inner spaces. So since
correct.
you you constructed a formula that is 2 into row minus 3, like that we did
Correct.
practically, we did with hit and trial kind of thing. So that thing you just put in the code and you took care of the outer spaces. Else, since we have already taken care of the outer spaces and for 1 and n entire row is printed, it will only come here when it is, you know, the middle of, for the middle rows.
Correct.
So
Exactly.
that's, huh. So that
Exactly.
is
So see what she's saying, that she's
something
explaining the
that we
logic.
need
See,
to
we
brainstorm.
have, yes. So you are telling me that for row number 1 and n, we have already printed the stars, correct? Yes. For row number 1 and n, we have already printed the stars, right, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
for this two
Yes, sir.
lines also only, it will go in this particular logic. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, if I'll show you this, then how many stars are there? How many species are there? This is 1, 2, 3. How many species are there? 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. If you just want to know how many species are there, let me print it 1. Okay. Instead of space. Can you see? Can you see the space? That's what I have to confuse you here also. How many species are there? Okay. Right? In the previous scenario, we printed it perfectly. But in this case, you completely deny the fact that it is having 3 spaces, right? So instead of space, I have printed 1. So now if I'll just tell you that now you will get the answer, okay? Very easily. How? Like this, okay? So now if you think about this, like star, then star 1 star, star 1 1 1 star, and star 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 and star, right? This is what our logic is. This is what our thing is, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? We continue seeing 135 pattern inside. Yes, you did, but not confidently. Not everyone said it, right? Yes, that is why I didn't focus on that, because I wanted to clear up your logics. Okay. So now if you want to do this, then we anyway we cleared this. Anyway, we cleared this one also. Anyway, we clear this one also. For the first and last line also, we only remain this. So you can observe now that line number 1, 2, 3, 4. For row number 2, you did not told any point of time to form this table that I explained you each and every question, in each and every question, that you have to form this particular table, right? Did I told you or not? So for row number 1 and 4, that will be no sense to print this. Okay. So for row number 2 and 3, we will be printing, right? So for row number 2, how many ones are there? How many ones or number of species are there? For row number 2, that will be 1. For row number 3, that will be 3. Right? Yes. Correct? Yes. Hai na? Okay. Now, for row number 2, that will be 1. For row number 3, that will be 3. So your logic would be what? 2 into 2 minus 3. 2 into 3 minus 3. Correct? So can I generalize it as 2 into row number minus 3? Yes. Because anyway, my line number, so I know actually I made the table also, I think so. But at that point of time also you were sleeping. Can I tell you where? Just a second. I think so. I have removed that. I removed that page. I think so. Yes, here. Can you see here? I made this. I made that table also, and I also told you that line number for row number 1, it will not work. है ना? And you guys, all guys said yes, yeah, it will not work. But for row number 1, we should not check it, na, because we put the if condition for row number 1 and last condition, right? Exactly, Ikta has no great point that we need to spend more time on paper rather than in on code. I think so. I told this one also in on your class that many of the developers I have seen that if we are assigning any problems to them, they will just start coding. They will just start coding. Actually, literally, they will just start coding and they will stuck somewhere. But the ideal developer, the base, like the good developers practice are, they will spend more time, like 80 or 70% time on paper solving that problem, and only 30% of 30% time they will spend on code. And the reverse of that would be true for the bad developers. They will spend more time on code and less time on paper. Correct? Yes. Okay, so Sharan is saying with this logic there are 5 spaces in the last row, so there will be 7 stars in the last row. I'm not getting it. Which input? Make it for 5 rows. Okay, I'll make it. Guys, please mute yourself if you don't want to speak. Okay, so for number of 5 rows, let me run it. See, correct? No, we are not bothering about first and last row, Nilanjan. See, we have put the condition now first and last row in the if. Correct? So why this, it will not go for the last row, it will not go in the else part. So this loop will not run ultimately. Okay, so you will not have 7 stars. We are giving space with star. Yes, so what? This space is, you are telling? It is coming on by this way. See, for row number 1 and n. So if your row number, this row is your 5th row. So for n equals to 5, it will come on this row, na? This if condition. So you will print your star equals to 1 and star less than equals to row. That means for row number 5, you will print 5 row. For row number 4, you will print 4 rows. Right? But if this will only true for first and last. So for row number 1, that is 1, and for row number 5th, that will be 5 rows. Yes, Likhi, that's what I'm telling, that last row will be filled by this condition. If we are not giving the space after the star, okay, like this way. So you have to also remove the stars from this way. Okay, so it will be messed, because you can observe that this last row would not get printed properly. If you do this, then you have to omit this condition. You have to remove this condition also. But if you remove this condition, then your triangle would be like exclusive hollow. It is called as exclusive hollow. See this? Cool. Right? If you just remove this condition, then it would be exclusive hollow, because it is also printing this one or space. It will go inside this else loop, because we have removed the or condition here. Likit, am I okay with till this point now? Everyone is okay with these conditions now? Ekta, you can try with any inputs, huh? You can try with any inputs you want. Okay, just like this. And yeah, remember that if you have any doubt, like for particular this case, you were confused about the spaces, hai na? So nobody had told me that, sir, please put one instead of space. Just check it, how many spaces are getting printed. Okay, so that also you need to take care and in mind that if you are not sure about how many species are there, just print any other character except the space, so that you can just know that how many species are getting printed. Am I correct? Am I right? Okay, so you need to think on a reverse manner also, right? Yes or no? Yeah, I'll paste this on dpaste. Yes, exactly. 21359 means 2 into row minus 3. See, if you practice more problems, then you will come to know like how to solve this kind of problem. Because see, whenever I see this kind of problem, initially, like immediately I told you that this is a problem of three tasks. First is for this one spaces, second is for the stars, and third one is for internal loops, internal space, right? So that way you will have the grip. once you practice this practice problems. And in the previous session, I think some of guys ask me that whether these questions are asked in the interview or not. Whether these are asked in the interview or not, you should not bother about it. You are not just focusing on cracking interviews, you are focusing on to become better developer along with cracking interviews. So if you are a better developer, then you will definitely crack interviews. But if you are not better developer and crack interview, that will be not making any sense. You will just struggle in your job if you get it by any chance, right? Okay. Up to this point, am I clear, everyone? ठीक है ना? Everyone, please participate, everyone. And there is the common thing in your in this batch. Initially, every like in this first or 1.5 hour, everyone will participate, everyone will solve the problem with me, everyone will respond. But in the last 1 hour यार आधे घंटे में क्या हो जाता है पता नहीं चल रहा है. Like they your guys are exhausted, like I feel so. स्टार्टिंग में कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट एंडिंग में कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. आई डोंट नो व्हाई. Oh, your mind blown like a star. So I pasted the code with the deepest. Okay. There are very few people like you, Barak, to be honest. So I'll just give you one task in in for the homework. Okay. Let me just give you the task. Actually, we are taking a little bit more time to think a logic. That's okay, Nilanjan. That will happen. If I'll tell about myself, then I used to take a lot of time to solve the problems. But that will come by practice. That I as I already told you, it will come by practice only. Okay, so you need to practice in a way that it will not go in vain. Okay, just a second. I'm opening one question for you. I think so. There is also the question of one of the guys doubt today. So, how many guys know about the binomial coefficient? What is binomial coefficient? How many guys are know what is binomial coefficient? Okay, as you are non-technical, okay, that's okay. That's okay. So a lot of you guys are don't know about what is binomial coefficient, right? So I'll just do what I'll just tell logic. You have to implement that for me. Is it fair? Is it fair? I'll tell logic to you, and you have to tell me the answer. You have to build it actually. Cool. Okay. So see, binomial coefficient is one kind of mathematical term through which we can achieve a better result. Okay. It is related to like mathematics like exclusive. We had learned it in 11th and 12th. I think so many of you guys remember that as well. So binomial coefficient are the positive integers that will occurs in coefficients in a binomial theorem. So binomial theorem is like a lot of long theorem. I'll not explain it, but I'll just tell you the logic of that. What is the logic of binomial theorem? Okay. If you know the logic, then you can implement it, right? Yes or no? Yes. Cool. Okay. So you can also learn it from the Wikipedia. I'll not explain the entire theorem because you will get bored if I'll explain that. You will get like very much of bored. Like if I'll tell you myself, then I had very good rank in my 12th, but I had wasted my 11th till 12th, like precious years of my life. Those were my precious years of my life, but as well as my worst years of my life. If I have to define my life worst years, then I'll define 11th and 12th. Okay, that was my worst years. So I'll not suggest you to go with this particular formula. But let me share my screen. Okay, yeah, I'll share my screen. Can you see the whiteboard? Can you see the whiteboard, guys? Yes. Okay. So what is binomial theorem? So with this theorem, you can find the probability of many things, such as if I have to explain that if you want to find the binomial coefficient. So with the binomial coefficient, what do I mean? That you are given in the question that you will be given like it is represented by C. This binomial theorem will be represented by C. So if you want to find the coefficient of n comma k, okay, okay, you have to find the coefficient of n comma k, then the formula of that would be binomial coefficient of, that means uh, that means just a second. That means C. Oh, so sorry. Yeah, what happens? Okay, so it will be C of n minus one. It's gone. I think this is worst thing there in the Zoom. Let me open it. Let me open it for you in the in my window only. Let me know once you guys can see my screen, huh? So that I can be explaining that. Can you guys see? Can you guys can see my screen? Yes or no? No. Okay, let me share it again. Can you see it now? Can you see now? Can you see now? Okay. So binomial theorem, if you want to explain, this is a better mode, I think so. So binomial theorem, we will express it by C. If you want to find n comma k, binomial theorem of n comma k, then it will be of C of n minus 1 comma k plus C of n minus 1 comma k minus 1. So have you observed that if I'll just tell you that if I want to find my binomial theorem of 5 comma 6, okay, so your answer would be 4 comma 6 plus C of 3 comma 5. Okay, it will internally call C of 3 comma 6 plus C of 2 comma 4. Yes. Yes. So something strikes in your mind. Something has strikes in your mind. Recursion. Yes. Okay. So you have to use recursion in this. Confuse between C and bracket. Oh, so like C and bracket, like C is the notation for the binomial coefficient. The coefficient of n minus 1 comma k. This is your n and this is your k. Okay. Okay. So whenever I'll say recursion, what comes into your mind? What comes into your mind first? If I will tell you to implement it by recursion, what comes into your mind? Function and calling function, yeah, but what should be the conscious thing, like what should be the cautious thing in the recursion? Let's say if I'll tell you to go in front of lion, then what you will tell? That I need protection, right? Because he will be dangerous to us. It will be dangerous to us, right? So the same way, if I'll tell you to implement recursion in some problem, then what should be the dangerous part of it? Yes. Yes, when to stop, right? Exactly. So in the factorial, 0 factorial was 1, right? So we have implemented that if my n is equal to 0, then we'll to return 1. Perfect. It is known as base case, है ना? Yes or no? Yes. So in the same way, in the binomial coefficient, your base case is that if your C n comma k, if your k is greater than n, then you need to return 0. And if your k is equals to 0 or k is equals to number, then you need to return 1. How many guys spotted what I just told? Oh, oh, my screen is not visible. Just a second. Just a second. I am just sharing it. Let me just confirm once you're able to see the screen. Visible? Okay. So if your k, if your k is equals to 0, or if your k is equals to your number, then you need to return, one particular formula of it, that is 1. Okay? And if your k is greater than n, then you need to return 0. Cool. Okay? This would be your stopping criteria. This would be your stopping criteria. K will not be less than n. Yes, k will not be less than n. K will not be greater than n. I mean to say, if this is the case, then you need to return 0. Okay? Okay. So can you implement it just the same way that we did in the factorial, or you want me to implement? So in the, what is k and n? Oh, so in the previous scenario, as I've explained, that this is your n, this is your k, this is your formula, right? Now in this particular formula, if you match this condition that k is greater than number, that means k is greater than n, then you need to return 0. If your k is equals to 0 or k is equals to number, then you need to return 1. Am I making sense now? Am I making sense now, people? Correct? Okay. So this is your formula. If you want to take in screenshot of that, then you can take it. This is your formula. This is your base case. You need to implement it through the recursion. I hope I am clear now. I don't think so there will be any sort of explanation that is remaining now. Base case is clear. Formula is clear. You need to just find the answer. Cool. You can implement it now. Yes. Yes or no? Yes, you will get it. You will get the recording of this lecture. No worries about this. Okay. So on that note, can we stop here? And from Monday, we'll focus on entirely arrays. We'll start directly with the arrays, with the introduction part. We'll solve the problems also. We'll must solve much problems in the advanced array also. Okay, from the basic to advanced also we'll go in the arrays. So as I no, told you in this particular lecture about I think so in OneNote I have explained about the arrays, right? uh, 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 where is it? Yes, this one. These are the basic type of DSA terminologies that we will, is the topics that we will be covering in the future sessions. Can we have to do more pattern problems? Yes, Deepak, if you have time, then you can do it. Yesterday's class does not contain quiz and assignments, because yesterday's class was itself an assignment. Na? We have solved the problems only. We'll start mainly data structures from Monday. Yes, Nilanjan, we'll start it. Okay. So in your free time, please try to learn the concept in bit detail. Okay. You will not find any kind of uh, explanation now. I think so. Like no, if you have like you have a feature of TA, na, then just try to work with them. You have to utilize them, because we will connect for around 2 to 3 hours a day, and in that 2 to 3 hours we have to cover, we have to learn new things, we have to also uh, cover the past topics also. We have to also cover doubt also. But you have the large section with respect to TS. I think so they are available, है ना, with you. So you can ask problems with them. You can also solve more problems. And if you have any concerns, just bother them, na. They are for you. We are for you, है ना. So please work on that so that you can be excellent in this particular case. What I can say, what more I can say. Am I making sense? I think so. Everyone. Yes. So on that note, we'll stop. Sir, TS are also available only from 7 to 11. Yeah, but 7 to 11 also you have much time, na? On the Tuesdays, Thursdays, and so on that 2 days also you can work with them, है ना? 4 and 4, 8 hours are there. On the rest of us, you can work, like you can practice. You can ask anything to TS. That they are for you. They will be helping you. Okay. Yes. Everyone. Yes or no? Okay. Cool. Yeah. So on that note, we'll stop. Happy Sunday and happy weekends. Will we meet tomorrow with the arrays? Cool. Okay. I hope you all guys are doing well and take care. We'll meet tomorrow. Enjoy till then. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Nilanjan. Any homework for patterns? Nilanjan, I'll say that the search like pattern problems JavaScript. Okay, you will find whole lot of problems, just like holo pyramid that we did, reverse pyramid also are there. Yesterday also will we have explained about the reverse logic. Did I explain in your class or not? I don't know. The one pyramid and reverse pyramid. I did in your class only. Yes, I did, na. Huh. Vishal says yes, Navneet says no. What should I infer from this? I think I explained in your class only. Yes, okay. So reverse from homework I did, है ना? So have you all done the homework that I had given? But I have explained in some other class, I think. So I have explained. I remember that. Okay. So like this way also you can work, na, that you can solve many problems or many patterns that you want. Okay. There are many things. Yeah, today I gave homework of this. Yes, yes. Okay. So on that note, on that note, we will stop today's lecture and we'll meet tomorrow. Okay. Till then, goodbye. Yeah. Thank you, Yunus. Same for me. Like you guys are also good students. Okay. That's what I expect from you. Okay. Okay. Bye. And have a great day. Okay. Bye.